Mr. Skelmersdale in Fairyland by H. G. Wells. Narrated by Sam Kusi. There's a man in that shop, said the doctor, who has been in Fairyland. Nonsense, I said, and stared back at the shop. It was the usual village shop, post office, telegraph wire on its brow, sink pans and brushes outside, boots, shirtings and potted meats in the window. Tell me about it, I said after a pause. I don't know, said the doctor. He's an ordinary sort of lout. Skelmersdale is his name, but everybody about here believes it like Bible truth. I reverted presently to the topic. I know nothing about it, said the doctor, and I don't want to know. I attended him for a broken finger, married and single cricket match, and that's when I struck the nonsense. That's all, but it shows you the sort of stuff I have to deal with anyhow, eh? Nice to get modern sanitary ideas into a people like this. Very, I said in a mildly sympathetic tone, and he went on to tell me about that business of the Bonham drain. Things of that kind are apt to weigh on the minds of medical officers of health. I was as sympathetic as I knew how, and when he called the Bonham people asses, I said they were thundering asses. But even that did not allay him. Afterwards, later in the summer, an urgent desire to seclude myself while finishing my chapter on spiritual pathology — it was really, I believe, stiffer to write than it is to read — took me to Bignor. I lodged at a farmhouse and presently found myself outside that little general shop again in search of tobacco. Skelmersdale, said I to myself at the sight of it, and went in. I was served by a short but shapely young man with a fair downy complexion, good, small teeth, blue eyes, and a languid manner. I scrutinized him curiously. Except for a touch of melancholy in his expression, he was nothing out of the common. He was in the shirt sleeves and tucked-up apron of his trade, and a pencil was thrust behind his inoffensive ear. Athwart his black waistcoat was a gold chain, from which dangled a bent guinea. "Nothing more today, sir?" he inquired. He leant forward over my bill as he spoke. "Are you Mr. Skelmersdale?" said I. "I am, sir," he said, without looking up. "Is it true that you have been in Fairyland?" He looked up at me for a moment with wrinkled brows, with an aggrieved, exasperated face. "Oh, shut it," he said, and, after a moment of hostility, eye to eye, he went on adding up my bill. 4, 6.5, he said, after a pause. "Thank you, sir." So.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?